Hey y'all, happy Saturday, and we are here again on my really messy tabletop. You can see I've been doing a lot of experimenting this week and just having a lot of fun. So let's get started in our journal, our cabinet of curiosities. This thing really is just, even when I flip through, a lot of times before I get started, I'll flip through it. And I'm telling you, it is really just a cabinet of curiosity. Like really, every page, even though I've created them, it's like when I go back and look at them, it's like a wonder to me. Like I don't really remember every process and where my mind was, what I was thinking at the time when I was creating them. But I really love it. This is what I love about creating these kind of journals. We can take ourselves on our own little adventure. And every page everything is something different. And these little books are just like cabinets of curiosities. So I'm excited. So this week I'm even more excited because I got some of my art foamies back. These are the prototypes. I love them. I love them. I love them. So I wanted to work with some of them in the journal because I've been on Patreon this week. We did a whole hour-long session of working with them and just some really beautiful techniques of the ink on the paper with the gel print down. I mean, just the quality is just so etheric. And I mean, just look how beautiful that little subtle scripting is underneath there. And oh, I love it. So we're going to be working with some of these. And we're going to be creating a journal page with them. So I got a lot of directions because I'm gonna stamp on some fabric, because actually the stamps work beautifully on paper, fabric. I have some of these water-based dyed inks here. They're acid-free. It's by a company called Close to My Heart. Actually, I was gifted these, so I'd never used them before, but wow, they are really good. And you can tell they're dyed because they go on fabric really nicely. I have no idea where to get these. I have to even look at the time of me taping this. I haven't even looked up to see who sells them, where you can get them. I have no idea, but they're wonderful. But I mean, you guys have stamp pads. So stamp pads, you're going to be able to use your stamp pads for these. So we're going to do some fabric. I'm going to go back to this ever-ending source or never-ending source of cabinet of curiosity stuff. So I think what I would do is grab maybe some, I know I have it in here, some of the journal page on onion skin. So I think I want to just collage a little bit of that over it. Let me pull this out too. This is on, no, that's on onion skin. I think I kind of want onion skin so things can kind of stay a little etheric. This is what I'm looking for. I could have swore I had some of it on, oh, here it is. On onion skin. So let's just see how we're going to do all of this. So I'm going to be working with, these are all script stamps. Each one is different. They're going to be sold in 2-packs. So 2 will come in, there'll be 2 packs of 2. So when you get the stamps, you'll have, and all 4 of them are completely different images. And this is from my personal collection of documents. I've had these documents for about 20 years. I got them in flea market in Paris, and they're from the 1700s, 1600s. They're very, very old documents. And so they really are unique scripting. And the way I had them designed, you'll see, is that you can tell that it's text, but you can't really read it. And I wanted it to be something that when you use them, it would just look like some text, but it would push back to the backgrounds of everything else you're doing. I didn't want it to look like a stamp. And when you're done with it, I'm so big on you guys really owning your own papers and your own language and, your own way of sharing your stories visually. And so all of these are designed to be things that you could use, and they don't necessarily speak to Robin stamps. You know what I mean? They're I like even these are just traditional. This is called a Kuba cloth. It's a traditional African kind of pattern, and they make these by the millions. There's so many combinations to these patterns, and this is one that I've had these patterns I've had for a while because I've used them when I used to silk screen. So this is one I created a long time ago, and now I'm able to put it into a foam stamp. But these are all designed to be things that are, I'll show you the box here. We have lots of different ones. This is one of a wood cut that I did quite a long time ago. This is another kind of traditional pattern in the Sousa cloth. This is another pattern of triangles and things that I did. This might have been a wood block or wood cut. Here's another inverse of it. And then all of them have these strips to go with them. So every pattern is sold, like, so when this comes, it'll be a 2-pack. And this strip is slightly larger than the background pattern. And you know, I like to do that because it allows for you to have different kind of change in sizes. And I think that's important when we're working, to be able to have that little shift. It makes a difference so that it looks more natural, like it could have been not just a stamp, you know, because the size changes. Oh, and then I have these two in here for my hearth codes, and these just work so beautifully in this. So there's 7 or 8 packs of this, and they're all different. That'll be launched, and the launch, you know, kind of listen up on Facebook, and we'll also make sure to announce it in the newsletter. Make sure you get on the newsletter, on the list for newsletters, because I do updates. I don't like, you know, I'm not one of them selling. But, you know, problem is a lot of times people will say, oh, I didn't know you did this. I didn't know you did that. And so jump on my newsletter, because just everything that I put out there. And then I'll also share it here. But a lot of times you have to wait till Saturday for that information. And maybe stuff has happened in the middle of the week, or, you know, like that kind of thing. So it's always good to be in a couple of places. But we're looking at probably doing a hard, you know, like actually introducing the product June 30th. And I think I'm gonna do like a Facebook Live where I'll show you know, we'll be playing with them, different things. I think I'm gonna do a raffle in there of some things, so you guys come in and just have some fun, you know, and win things on a raffle. And we're just gonna make it a fun launch, but I'll keep you up on that. But below the video, there will be a link that says join my newsletter. Just click that. If you're not on there, it's a good place to be. So let's get started. First I want to go ahead and stamp these as background. And
we interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi, my name is Robin McClendon. For those of you who may be new to this video, I just start talking like I know everybody on here, and we're just in each other's studios and all that kind of stuff. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for, you know, tuning in. And I'm a mixed media artist. I love working with the gel plate as a mixed media tool. I have my brand of intuitive scripting and intuitive collage that we do a lot over here. I'm a master book artist and paper maker. So that's why we do a lot of books, and I'm an avid art journaler. I believe that art journaling should be a part of your practice. No matter what else you're doing in your studio, you should at least have a journal that you go in daily and you do something in. It is so important to really honing your practice and pushing out ideas and really getting to make your art your own.
Now back to our show.
Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to begin with the ink pads, but we're going to also use the ink. So this ink here. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with a softer color. So I have this color Slate. Let's work with slate. And let's start by, let's turn it over. Make it inks better. And this one had, now I'm gonna show you the whole piece. And there's different elements on them. So you can ink up the whole thing. You can just do a part of it. You know, you don't have to do the whole thing. Now this one has 1787 on the bottom of it there. Oh, where are we? Right there. So it's probably going to end up getting covered up on this one, because I'm going to put in a pocket here, but I just want to show you. Oh boy, look at that. Oh, that color is really pretty. So you see how you have the 1787? You don't have to ink that element up when you ink these up, or you could just ink a few lines up. It's not like you've got to ink the whole thing. And what I like to do is to do sections of it. So when I'm doing this, and see, then we get a nice light background. So let's just ink up parts of this so that we can just, you can see what I'm talking. I like to overlap the patterns. So like this one, I'm not going to ink the whole thing. I'm just going to come back now and come here and just kind of overprint. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, that's just yummy. So I've designed the stamps to sort of, you know, be able to be used like this. So we just get this kind of pattern going on. And now what we're going to do is let's grab this one, and now let's see what putting some of the Kiri-Same down. Now remember this, we're starting this as backgrounds, because like for this, I actually am probably going to take some of this and go over top of it. So see how we can see that there's writing underneath there, through there, but it's not, you know, like in your face. And when you, now this is on stain paper. So when you put it right on stain paper, you get this really nice strong print. When you do it over top of, this is a gel print that has chalk paint down. You see how much lighter, and just, it just sort of bleeds into it. So let's just take some of our Kiri-Same and our brush. And let's ink this up, and we're going to get a completely different line. So I wanted to show you with the stamp pads so that you could see how beautiful and how clean the line is if you use a stamp pad. And of course, if you use our beloved fountain pen ink, we're going to get a whole nother line. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more like ink blots and stuff, you know, that whole thing we like. Let's take this. I'm just going to put it right down on here. But look how quick it is to get some really nice, and there's no repeats on. Oh, look at that. See how it just has more of a fountain pen look to it? Because it's like, you can see how it's bleeding in there a little bit here and there, and you get a little bit of the ink blots like you do with a fountain pen. So what's nice about them is that I made them so there's a lot of text on each of these blocks, and none of it repeats. None of this repeats. So you literally can just, as many sections or lines that you want to take and use, you can vary your pattern that way, or you could just use one part, ink up one side of the plate like down here. So they're all designed to be, you know, so if you got both packs, you're going to have like a ton of variation in the way that you could use the lines. And I designed them like that so that they just don't seem, that was what I was having frustrations with. Now this one, well, I'll show how this one looks when we actually do the demos for them. I don't want to make this be like a demo thing because we want to get this done. But this one is nice too. You get it and you'll get the whole flat surface, and then you can print over top of that. Do I happen to have it here? Oh, let me show you kind of when I was playing around with them. So like this one. So that's where you get the whole flat surface and you see where you're seeing the print there. And then I stamped over it with an alternate color, just kind of playing. So you can see what that one kind of looks like. But anyhow, I'll be showing more of that. But the point is that, oh boy, I really love it with this ink. The point is just to be able to have variety and not, I mean, I know when I've had some, you know, I really like the Tim Holtz stamps because his, to me, like I've designed mine reminiscent of what I enjoy most about the way his is. I want to get our piece of fabric now. Here we are. So I just have, this is just some canvas cloth and I want to stamp it with this. Because I want to turn this into a pocket. And I want this pattern on here to be able to mix in. And then we're going to do some collaging with some fabric bits and with some of this as well. But anyway, and I used his, so I'm going to use, let's see how, I've got enough of a length here. Let's see how it looks with the Kiri-Same ink, because I really want it to be, you know, real rough looking. And I've used his stamp so much in my work that I felt like I had to come, and every stamp that I would try just always looked like the same, you know, after you use it a couple of times, you don't want to use it anymore because it looks like the same thing over and over again because it's too bold. You can read it too good. And it's not enough variation on the stamp pad because these stamp pads are like 4x6. So they're really a big surface and there's a lot of text within that surface. So it's not like the same little teeny little block of something and you're using it over and over again. So, oh my goodness, I really, okay, so we put some ink on here. Now let's just see. This is cotton duck cloth. I'm assuming we're going to get some bleeding. I want bleeding. Hope, hope, pray, pray. Ah, oh, yes. See how well that print? That print really nicely, and that's with our fountain pen ink. Let's see, because I want to end up putting this here like a pocket. So this is going to go on there like a pocket. So, you know, like just being able to make our own little pockets and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. And while that's drying, let's figure out what else we're going to do here. I'm going to do a little collaging. Let's see, if I kind of put this there, I put it down, we're going to be able to see through it. I like that, but I got to get some, I need some more color in here, but not too much. I like the sew. Let me grab my little scrap box. Because I think I'm definitely going to want to, you know what we're going to do with this one? We're going to grunge this up a little bit more too. So before we get to staining there, let me just get some of my, I'll just use the top. I want to spritz this a little bit with some coffee. It should make it bleed a little bit too, since it's still not, it may be dry. We need that to look a little bit more grunge. Okay. And plus it's bleeding a little bit, which I like. So see, we've got a little bit of, that's why you keep your coffee ready at your table. It's nothing like it. And I'm probably going to hurry that little drying along in a minute when I get ready to change my my memory card. But in the meantime, let's just go ahead and get this going. I'm going to sort of rip this here on the side. And I want to kind of put it down as just a piece. I don't want it to be, put this off of here. There. Okay. So that we have some text and some not, and whatever. Let's just sort of see here. Let's rip it here first. And because I want to see some of that text underneath there, but like this is pretty good. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, let's get our glue. We can get that down. So remember, the whole idea of even working with these stamps will be for you to think in terms of kind of creating backgrounds, just because, everything is about layers. I cannot ever say that enough. Those of you who follow me, I have a few things I say over and over again. And to me, artwork is always, if you really want your work to look really rich and interesting, you've got to layer. Everything has to be a layer. It just, this idea of putting one or two things down and that's it on your surface. I mean, right here, what we're looking at is at least 3 layers, because, oh, that looks so good. Because first of all, I've coffee stained this paper. And so it has like a texture from the staining already, right? And then we just stamped it. And now we're taking an overlay of onion skin with some more information. And you see how much more interesting that this page it looks. And also it just looks more authentic. It just has more of a feel of like an old journal thing, or like our cabinet of curiosities. You just get more of a feel of that because we just are going to, we're just layering. And that's just so important in my work, is this idea of layering. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do to this side, because I kind of had the pocket here. But I want to, I know, I pulled this little thing out because I have this little burgundy color in here generally. I don't know if I still have it. But the idea of, like, I want some red on here or something. And these are some pieces from, see, this is that chevron that's traditional. Where is it? That this one was built from. It shows up a lot of different ways, but in the Sousa cloth, see that chevron pattern? So it's used a lot throughout. So I came across this little piece of it. I would show you. I And I kind of would like to add a little bit of this on this page somewhere. Maybe figure it out. But I need to do something else here too. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I was looking for my reds. So that I can kind of maybe, oh, that would be good here on the top of this. Okay, so that we'll use here. Just go find all your little bits and pieces. Put that. And I need to figure out what I want to do with this. I'm sitting here the whole time I'm talking about this, and I see this bit in front of me that's like my sort of my glue palette paper thingy. Let me just rip some of this. For some reason, I just feel like this would look good here. I keep on eyeballing it. Oh yeah, I like that. See, so just go with the flow. This right here is wax paper. So we're gonna need to use the Giotto for sure to put it down. I love that. And then this little bit of text is peeking through. So far so good. And then maybe this could be a piece of document that goes on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this down. Oh, one of you all reached out to me in an email. I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was. I get so many emails. And I'm like, never. I've never been the best with names. I might even put that down too. But anyway, and you were telling me that you checked out Ken Bromley's site and that these Giottos now are VAT free. Like they're not including the VAT on these. So they're like two and a half euros a stick. And then, so she said she got 18 of them. And then just with shipping, it came to like $42 or something like that, which that's good. That's really good. I'm ready to go back on Ken Bromley and get some more. Because when I did it, they definitely added the VAT. And that VAT doubles everything. So I was at like $90 for 20 something. I think I got 24 sticks or something like that. So I want a little bit of that top to show. So, and because we can see through it, I can still see some of my ink blot. And this wax paper goes down like crazy good with this Giotto. I don't know what they do with this Giotto, but like a lot of the times it's hard to glue wax papers and stuff down, but oh, I love it. Okay. So this is over here. When I go to reset my video, I'm going to just go ahead and use the heat gun to dry this. See how that looks. So far, we've got a pretty good foundation. I honestly want to put some more of this down here. Like this bit of gray here, I think looks really good. So we're going to do it before we stop. Let's get the gray. I need. And on top of that, all the sticks that I do have, and I still have quite a bit left, I can't find my Giottos because I moved, and I know I moved them into the studio somewhere because I'm very careful with those to make sure I know exactly where they are. And of course, now I do not know because they were in a box. They were in a brown box that they were shipped to me in. And right now, I have no idea where that box is. Okay, here we are. So I do need to spend some time finding it because I'm running out of Giottos. In fact, I'm down to these two and they're done. Okay, so that really glues down nicely. And this is wax paper. It's a brown wax paper that I got. I think I got this at, yeah, I got it at Whole Foods. Okay, so we are back. Our fabric is nice and dry, and I think the video cut out when I was showing you what brand of wax paper it is. So it was a Whole Foods 365. Like I said, I don't know if they still carry this. I got this about a year ago, exactly a year ago in June, because I was traveling and I remember where I got this. But I got it because I like the color more so than anything, and I needed some wax paper for what I was doing. So anyway, if they have it, but any, I guess, I mean, any wax paper you can use, but if you're interested in what this was specifically, and look, it went down super flat. It is like down there. It is not going to move. I like that. This is the first time I've ever actually tried gluing it down. I normally just use it as waste paper, or I use it to make like my glue gun stencils and things like that. This, we're going to be actually stamping some of this stuff up and using it because it is really nice. Okay, so now this is done. It's all dry. It's amazing how that fountain pen ink is so indelible. Like, it didn't move. And you know, we had just stamped it when I went to spray it. So it really went into that fabric and locked. I love it. So let me just go ahead and cut. Let's cut that off because this is going to be our pocket. That's going to go down there. Let's go ahead and scrunch it up and grunge it up some. We need it to look a little more old. Not so flat and neat and all that kind of stuff. Wow, looks, oh, we're already getting a nice little bit of age to it. Okay, so that's going to end up getting glued down, but I didn't want to put this red on it. I feel like it could use a little bit of something. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to put the red. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to put the red down. Oh, let's do it on the edge. You know, I like that edge thing. And I can use my stapler. We'll use a little bit of glue and then use the stapler. And that just kind of adds something in without being too much, too little. Okay, so I'm going to use the... It's probably going to start getting a little noisy in here because people are coming in to the studio today. So just if you hear anything, it's just my studio mates. Okay, so I'm using the PVA. We know the PVA is really good for getting to glue things down and be really nice and permanent. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and get this down. Okay. So this is a nice pocket. And this is just using canvas duck cloth. Let me get paper towel. Where's one of my paper towels? Okay, where are we? Like, where's everything? I've moved so much stuff since I've been in here doing a lot of production. And so, use one baby wipe. Just want to grab that glue here just to kind of wipe it a little bit so it's not so. You know, I know this is my next page and I don't really know what I want to do with this one because I like it. I might not do too much covering up, but oh, I like the way that dye bled through because these inks are actually dyes. And you'll have some inks that aren't, and so they probably won't bleed through the page, but I like the way that bleed through happened there. That's pretty good. Okay, so and this piece of fabric, starting, you know, with from this color to this, stamping it and just using some coffee stain. It gave it a really good aged look, but I think because of the pattern that's on there and stuff, it doesn't look contrived. You know, it looks like you could have just found this little piece somewhere. Okay, I still want to put this in this corner. So let's just go ahead and glue that down. We're going to use some of the PVA. I just think it's a nice little, kind of almost like a found element that's being a part of a document, you know, documenting it type of thing. And this is from a very old piece of the Swoozer cloth. So this is definitely like an antique piece, you know. Oops, picking stuff up off of there. So I'm just going to kind of get that down. And I think that just adds a nice little touch on that page. This pocket is great. So I'm going to go ahead and get this down. Let me see, do I want it up? And I want it down. So let's just put just a little. Actually, I think I'm going to use this coconino just to get a little bit of glue. And then it'll also help us see how this holds the fabric. Just kind of put it there so it sort of hangs off the edge of everything. Oh, love it. And then let's also grab this stapler. I like using a stapler with stuff like this. Well, because I just like the way these little staples look. And it just gives it that little extra, you know, something. I'm just kind of. So it just kind of gives it that sort of, you know, out in the field, kind of deconstructed look. Not too precious. And then we have our pocket there. It also helps to give a little more stability to that pocket. So when we do put stuff in it, we're good. So wow, I really like the way this turned out. It's such a simple page, right? But we've got a lot going on in it, from our collaging to our multiple layers of our paper, the stamps, this little pocket that we made out of the fabric. And just putting these elements on. Really love it. So let's go back here, since we got a little time, to this fold out here that we did a while back. I thought it'd be nice to put some text in it. This one right here. And I actually at one point put this skeleton of this animal down. I'm trying to put something on this so it doesn't lift up. But I'm thinking a little bit of text. Maybe even this piece here that says the 1787. Where is it? That could be fun there. This right here. So let's get our ink. I definitely want to do the ink because I want it to bleed. And, you know, we talk about this just coming back to our pages and continuing to embellish them. This one, the text is flipped. So the actual, if you were reading it, it goes this way. And then the 1787 is flipped that way. And I did it like that so that it would make sense putting the text in a way that you could flip it so that you could read it. But it's also fun to put it in a way that it doesn't necessarily have to be read, but your eye does focus on something. It sort of sees this 1787 and it makes you think everything's going the right way. But like I said, you don't always have to use that oh yes, look at that. That's what we want. That's good, right? Because I had a little thing that said Brooklyn Library. I thought the 1787 would look nice there. But all this bleeding is perfect. It bleeds in with our ink blots. Oh, I love it. These stamps work so good with, definitely with, I'm always kind of getting the rest of it off on the table. Definitely works beautifully with the fountain pen inks, and it really makes it look like it could have been done like, you know, with a fountain pen. Alrighty, I think that's good, because otherwise I'll be stamping everything up. But I like this. This is great. Okay, so that's everything. So, okay, there we have it. Until, because, you know, you can see my brain is going like, okay, what else do I want to do? And all of that, but we're good. We've got a lot done today. So I'll leave you to go off to your studios, work in your cabinet of curiosities. If you're new to the channel, please hit that bell, hit all so that you can get all of the notifications. We do this every Saturday, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And we do Wednesdays, workshop this at, I think it's also 7 in the morning now. But anyhow, it's Wednesdays. And also, make sure you thumb up the video if you like this. And yeah, just come back to hang out with us. And to everybody in the chat, you know, it's always been a blast. I always love hanging out with you guys Saturday morning on the premiere and just talking it up. We're getting to know each other so nicely. I just think it's just a wonderful way to stay in connection with community, you know, once a week. So love you all. Take care. Happy creating. Until next week. So much love from my studio to yours. Bye-bye.